Hello and welcome to Lemming TV. In today's episode, I'll be continuing with my Jelle's Marble League career mode. I hope you enjoy. So, if you didn't see the last episode, I advise you to check it out. But we did the sand rally and the endurance race, elimination race, I mean. So I advise you to check it out. But going into this event, the main championship contenders for the last two events are us, the O-Rangers, and the Balls of Chaos. We're very much top three teams contending for, of course. Balls of Chaos won it last season, and O-Rangers the season before. We're yet to win it. And also, if we look towards the bottom of the table, after this event, the showdown will happen, and that will decide which teams will be going into the next season. So, the bottom four teams from the current league after football event will go in and face four teams that I have selected. But because the Hornets are retiring, there'll be 5 spaces for the next season. So Lions and Team Primary can't actually make it out of the bottom 4. So it's very much between the Yarwhals and the Cobalts to make it out, and they will be trying to overtake the Snowballs and the Savage Speeders. So before we go into this event, we'll check our messages. So let's see. After last night's sandstorm, the locker room is a complete mess. There's sand everywhere. What should we do? We could either ask the stadium management to clean it, pay for it or ourselves, or ignore it. So we'll ask stadium management to do it. Hopefully they will do it. And the Marble League mascot and ruler of Floria, which is the land of the crazy cat's eyes, King Stardust, is most displeased with the lack of hospitality from both Cleopatra and the crazy cat's eyes in general. Is unfair critique from the king, or are the crazy cat's eyes such a poor host? Please give your honest opinions. Well, they haven't been putting me in a hotel or anything, so I'll have to go with King Stardust there. So, today we'll be doing the football event, but before we do that, we will do a training session, as this is very much a strength event, and we only have really like 2 marbles of decent strength, so we want to up that, and also start preparing one of our marbles for the marble lacrosse, which will be next event, most likely Pit the elder, so we need to try and get his tiredness down now. So we'll start off with speed. Pit the elder, who will most likely be doing it next event. He has 97, so we'll send him out, try and get the full 100%. Okay. So let's see, what can we do now? Well, we don't really need the rest of these. We can just go, and if we even had 2, we would have enough. Well, we have plenty, so that's 100. We'll also put Pit the Elder out, as Marble Lacrosse needs endurance, as it is multiple laps. Of course, Marble Lacrosse quite similar to Marble 1 this season. Marble 1 season has just kicked off last weekend, I believe. I record these before the actual race happens, so there should be one at O Raceway, I believe, this weekend. Yeah, we go into strength, and we send out Pit the Elder, which was very lucky. I accidentally clicked go before I meant to, but still 9 there. That's an extra 18%, and it's splitting at 61%. Not the best, but still decent enough. Motivation. Pit the Elder has the lowest motivation as the whole team at 91%. That was very high, but I'm quite surprised that it's the lowest of our entire team. Our teams are very motivated, but I guess this is probably their best chance to win the championship they've had in quite a while. Of course, we have been close before, but we have never actually done it, so this is a pretty good chance for us. We won't send Pit the Elder out, as he has 100 health, and I believe Lord Parmesan, who will also be going for the football event, 74, so we can send him out now. So let's see what can we do to try and get him up to 100%. If we do get 100%, we need all of them, and we just about miss out on the final one there. Still decent, 92%. And finally, we will send out Pit the Elder as he's doing a marble across, but he is very tight, 74%. So let's see, can we try and chop that down? It's very important we do, because he also has a football event which will make him even more tired, and we don't want an exhausted marble going out and doing the marble across. 6 tokens there, that will take down 62%. So let's jump into the football event. So if you don't know what the football event is, basically 2 marbles go either side, and they try to have hit these footballs into the goals. Whoever scores the most wins. As we see the brackets here: Cobalts play Crazy Cat's Eyes, Royal Shining Swarm, Hornets, Sarry Speeders, Oceanic Diables. We play Team Primary, and you can see the rest there. First game, Cobalts, Crazy Cat's Eyes, 4th in the standings, and they will score 1. Cobalts also scoring 1. They need to get the points if they want to avoid the showdown. So it's 1-1 there. Next up, in the second half here, the Cobalts score 1. Crazy Cat's Eyes unable to score. So the Cobalts will be advancing to the next round. They very much need it, but they will be hoping that neither Snowballs or Sarry Speeders do well today. Shining Swarm play the Rojo Rollers, 2 mid-table teams. Rojo Rollers 7th, Shining Swarm 5th. It's 2-2 in the first half. Let's see who will get the better results in the second half. Rojo Rollers score 1, so does Shining Swarm. So we'll most likely be going to extra time unless this ball goes in for the Shining Swarm, and it does. And the Shining Swarm will be advancing to the next round. And this seems really a threat, having a threat for going to the showdown, but not really competing for the championship either. So this is very much relaxed for them. Hornets against the Sarry Speeders. Hornets final ever season as they retire, like they have done in real life. Both teams scoring 1 so far. Into the second half now. Who can advance through? Sarry Speeders will need the points much more than the Hornets, and they will be going through, so not looking good for the teams that are trying to avoid the showdown. Now, next up, Oceanics versus the Diables. Diables very much need a great result here. They are going to be hoping for a win, or at least a podium, if they want to remain in. Of course, both of them very much water-based and very similar logos, with the sword for the Diables and the Oceanics with a trident. 2-1 to the Diables going into the second half. They have a slight advantage here. They don't score, neither side score, and I do believe the Diables will be heading through as they get a third right at the end there. Now we play Team Primary, so it'll be Lord Parmesan, and I believe Pit the Elder, Tom, and I think it was Jeff's at 67. I think Jeff will also be going out as well, has the lowest strength. So can we advance against Team Primary? It's a very important match for us here, seeing as we very much are in the championship battle. We will score 1, Team Primary score 2. So we're 2-1 down going into the second half. We very much need something to happen in the second half, or otherwise our championship's hopes may be pretty slim. Of course, our Rangers could win the championship this event. We do go through into the next round here. So 5-4. Next up, Balls of Chaos, Midnight Wisp. Midnight Wisp 8th in the championship, Balls of Chaos 3rd, I believe. So let's see. Neither side scores so far. It's 0-0 going into the second half. What can these teams do here? Of course, Balls of Chaos having a very bad race at the Raspberry. I believe the Raspberry race is racing Marble 1. They're like 20 seconds or something like that off the leader, but they will make up for it here, winning 1-0 against the Midnight Wisp. Snowballs play the Green Ducks. Snowballs, of course, 1 position away from the showdown. They'll want to get a good result. Green Ducks in 10th position. It's very unlikely that they will be in the showdown, but they are leading the Snowballs. Snowballs very much want to get a good half here, or otherwise they might be in a bit of trouble, and it does look like they are in trouble. They conceded 3, and they're going to go 4-1 down and out of this event. Green Ducks will continue, and O-Rangers versus Climbers. O-Rangers leading championship, Climbers in last position, and they cannot make it out of the showdown. Of course, I actually support both of these teams. O-Rangers, of course, my favourite team, but I also support Oceanics and the Climbers, just because I very much like these teams. And if the O-Rangers somehow fail to qualify for the Marble League, which would be very bad, seeing as they have managed to qualify for all of them, I at least have someone to support, but the Oceanics won't be able to qualify for the next one, so it's very much either Limes or Rangers. Rangers win there, so as we can see, the quarter-final brackets, we're playing Balls of Chaos, so Speeders playing Yarballs. Those are some pretty big games, but first up we have Cobalts versus the Shining Swarm. Cobalts do want to get a good event here if they want to keep themselves out of the showdown. Of course, when you go to the showdown, there's a pretty high chance you may not come back for the next season, and if you're not in, there's only 4 spaces for new teams. That's like 20 teams not in, so it might be a very long time until you're able to come back. So far it's 2 in the first half. Let's see what can these teams do in the second. Cobalts failed to score, but Shining Swarm do score, so it's not going to be good for the Cobalts, as I believe the Green Ducks are remaining in, and but Snowball's not, so I think that should be enough to get them over. Well, it depends what the other scores in the other matches are. Say for instance, if the teams get thrashed compared to only losing by 1 goal, that will make a difference. So far 0-0 here. Yarballs want a pretty decent result if they want to not face the showdown. Savage Speeders also slightly off. Of course, Savage Speeders doing pretty well in real life, have won lots of competitions, the most successful team, and I believe they did well in the first race in Marble 1 this season. They go on to win their game, knocking the Yarballs out, so I don't think the Yarballs will be escaping the showdown, so we will stick with the same lineup as we had before going into our match against the Balls of Chaos. Of course, we're both quite high up in the championship, only a few points separating us. We score 2, Balls of Chaos score 1, so 2-1 going into the second half. Now we will stick with our formation. So what can we do? Hopefully we can keep our lead. We do. We score 2 more. Balls of Chaos actually scoring 1 right at the end, so it's a 4-2 victory for us. And finally, arranged to play the Green Ducks. So let's see what can they do. Rangers leads the championship. They would want to win this. Green Ducks quite low down, and the Rangers leading so far into the second half now. Let's see whether the Rangers can continue their lead and retain their lead. If they do, it'll be 2-1, and they'll advance to the semi-finals. So the Shining Swarm will take on the Savage Speeders, and will take on the Rangers. A massive game for us there. Could potentially decide the championship, because if the Rangers would go to the bronze match and will go to the final, or vice versa, and that's a decent amount of points. That swing could very much either close in the championship or extend it, and the team going to final does have a chance to really extend it if they win, or really catch up in our case. But let's see who'll be facing them. 1-1 Shining Swarm versus Savage Speeders. Let's see what can these teams do now. Technically, the Shining Swarm, I believe, could still win the championship, but it's very unlikely, and it's becoming even more unlikely as the Savage Speeders win 2-1, so there's no doubt that they will not be going into the showdown. Now we take on the Rangers, so as I've said before, massive game. This could potentially decide the championship. Of course, there is still one event afterwards, and the Rangers put one in. We had a poor collision, as you saw. One of our miles very much going off to the side. Rangers lead 1-0, so we need to try and get at least one goal in and take us to extra time here. We do score one, and the Rangers just about score one at the end of the match, and we'll be going out. We set up the bronze medal game, but hopefully the Rangers don't do that well against Savage Speeders and we're able to beat the Shining Swarm. Rangers and Savage Speeders are actually two of the best marble teams in real life. But let's see whether we can get ourselves a Pokemon. Will Shining Swarm steal this off us? We were able to get a couple. Shining Swarm are unable to score, so we put ourselves in a decent position here into the second half. Let's see what can we do now. Try and retain our lead, which we do. It's looking like a 3-0 victory here. A pretty decent victory for us, guessing as the bronze medal. Now with the Savage Speeders versus the Rangers. Rangers actually have the record for this in our career mode with a 6-0 victory. They're unable to score. Savage Speeders are unable to score. It will very much go down to the second half and potentially even extra time. So let's see second half now for Rangers and Savage Speeders very much going at it. Savage Speeders score and our Rangers score too, and this is not looking good for us as the Rangers win the event here. They'll get 25 points, and the Savage Speeders as Shining Swarm, Green Ducks, Cobalts, Balls of Cats, Yarbles, Team Primary, Roho Rollers, Crazy Cats, Hornets, Midnight Wisps, Oceanic Slimers, and Snowballs in last position. As we see the podium here, let's see what does this do for the championship. Our Rangers extending their lead 17 points now. I believe only we can catch them, and it's very tough because I think we would need a top 2 position, and our Rangers are finishing last or second to last. So a big ask into the final event. Balls of Chaos in 3rd position, then the Shining Swarm coming into 4th, Crazy Cats drop down to 5th, Hornets, Roho Rollers, Savage Speeders climb up to 8th position, then the Midnight Wisp, Green Ducks, Oceanics, and Cobalts able to climb themselves out of the bottom 4, securing their spot in the next season. But the Snowballs, Yarbles, Team Primary, and Limers will be going into the showdown. So, before we finish this episode, we'll actually go and do our training session now to try and get Pit the Elder stats up. He does have 100% tiredness, so that's not great, but he's very much the best marble we have so far, unless we could potentially go for Jeff, who does have 92 speed and 82 motivation and has much lower tiredness, and we might actually do that. So now it's all about Jeff. What can we do to try and raise Jeff's stats here? We would need to get his speed, motivation up, and his tiredness down. So now we will go for speed. We only need 4 of the tokens here to get us up to 100%, and we do get them. We actually get 9, so a decent run there. Of course, gets him up to 100. We don't really need endurance. It doesn't matter what we do here. Jeff's got 100 endurance, and seeing as the next event is the last event and the stats don't really carry on to the next season, we might as well not get any, and it'll still be 100%. Strength, it'll be nice to have Jeff being strong for the marble across, maybe barge some marbles out of his way as he tries to make his way up the field. Of course, we don't need all of them to get to 100%. 9 is enough, and that will get him up to 100% strength. Next up, motivation. Yes, again, 9 is enough here. Jeff's at 82% motivation, but if we are able to get it to 100, that would be very nice indeed. As we do actually get all of them, that's an extra 50%, though we don't really need it, but still 100% here. Health, of course, Jeff's the only marble going to go out for the rest of the season, so we might as well just get another 0 The next up, tiredness, very important for us, as Jeff's at 65% tiredness, and the lower the better, so very much so if we do want a chance of getting a good result in the next event, we'd want to get that tiredness as low as possible, but apart from that, he's practically the perfect marble for 100% on everything else. Of course, lower the better for tiredness, and we'll get all 10, that is 30% down to 35 tiredness. And this is looking like a very good marble for the marble across, but we have 17 points to get to the O-Rangers, and I think if the O-Rangers actually get 3 or more points, then they will win the championship, but if it is the tie, we will win, as we have had 7 podiums so far this season, which is quite incredible, as nearly half of the events. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!